Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk Leeds with myself, GWFM. I'm joined once again by my esteemed co-host, Mattinho Got Game. Say hello, mate.
Yeah, guys.
Just a pre-warning, my voice is a bit fucked, as you can probably tell. Don't know why. Since going back to work, I must be allergic to work or something, because it's just gone back and it's gone backwards as my voice. But anyway,
Isn't everybody allergic to work?
I think there might well be, yeah. It's probably a good shout, to be fair. But yeah, we're going to be talking today about the last two games, Hull City being the first, and of course Forest, which happens on New Year's Day. Two very disappointing results, two different sorts of games, if you know what I mean, two different types of reasons as to why we got beat, which we're going to look into shortly. Then we'll look at some of the transfer rumours based on the first couple of days into the January transfer window. So, and then obviously we'll look at the FA Cup game against QPR, which is at Loftus Road on Sunday. So, before we get stuck into anything, Matt, briefly, it's a quick summary of what your feelings after the last two games.
Hull was obviously terrible.
Yeah.
On the face of it, we dominated it, but we didn't have that cutting edge. You could possibly say, with it being the festive period, teams do get leggy. It obviously is a hectic period. You got a lot of games within a short period of time.
Yeah.
Normally, you'd be able to say, "Oh, well, it's not really an excuse because everybody has to play the same," but we are very short on numbers, and we're playing the same team week in, week out, because we don't really have the options off the bench or anywhere else. But yeah, I mean, overall disappointing. The first goal, terrible clearance, if I remember correctly, terrible clearance by Calvin Phillips. Dropped straight to Jared Bowen. I'm making that reference again. Yeah, Bully's special prize, 1-0 down. And then second half, we weren't good in the first half. We improved a little bit in the second half. We did have a few more chances, but again, nothing really clear cut.
Yeah.
And then when they got the second one, it was pretty much game over. We fought against it, we tried and so on, but it was just, again, we just don't really have the options off the bench, barring Clark, who can come in and influence things and change the flow of the game. I mean, the way we set up and the way we play, we're obviously very focused on possession, very focused on attacking football. But the problem with that is if you go a goal down, it gives the other side the opportunity to set up and just defend and catch you on the counter. And most teams have got a bit of pace in certain attacking areas. Hull definitely did, I think. And yeah, I mean, we've got to start starting when the game starts, if that makes sense. No point being 1 or 2-0 down going into the second half, because we're just chasing it. And, the further we chase the game, the more exposed we are going to be at the back. So, yeah, I think maybe it was just a case that Hull they set up better than we did. And, yeah, it just wasn't our day, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, it was largely disappointing that the lack of clear-cut opportunities that we created, from my point of view. I remember the Hernandez chance where he got played through and he hit on volley and it just went over the bar. That'd have been some goal, that. And that would have put us 1-0 up, and who knows what kind of game it would have been had it dropped about 6 inches lower. But it's one of them where it just seemed like nothing was falling for us. Every 50-50 seemed to be won by them. Or every loose ball fell to them as well. And they were just far more clinical. That I think I can only remember them having maybe 4 shots in total, which obviously they scored 2 of them. Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. It didn't seem like a game where we had many chances conceded, to be fair. They just, like I said, they took the chances when they came. They've gone on to win 6-0 since against Bolton, so and they were the form team, and we were a little bit wary, weren't we, if I remember rightly. I mean, I didn't say we were going to lose or draw. I said we were going to win, but I thought it might have been like 1-0 or something. A pretty tight game. As it turned out, it was tight in terms of, like I said, they got the goals, set up very defensively, and after they got the goal as well. And there's one thing I do remember is the commentator saying that the keeper within the first minute was taking his time. So they're all the teams, I think, are going to be like that going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same against like Derby and Stoke, who we've got coming up next in the league. Whereas it was really like open and expansive against them early on in the season because no one knew what to expect. Now everyone knows how we play. I feel that most teams, more or less all teams, will operate like that and look to get us on the counter. It seems a bit of a no-brainer these days. But yeah, I suppose that's all we can say for now about the Hull game. We'll move on to New Year's Day, where we got beat 4-2 against Forest. What did you think, Matt?
Some parts unlucky, I think. Me and G have had a talk about this, about the was his name Robertson, is it?
Yeah,
Is that
Robertson.
left back?
I did actually speak to someone about this. Just sorry to chip in. And I've got a bit of a confirmation actually. I'll see if I can find it. But go on, I'll let you carry on while I find it, mate.
Yeah, I think I know the letter of the law says technically he shouldn't have been sent off, but I think it's a stonewall red card because he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's not a genuine attempt to get the ball. He's just trying to stop the player. So that for me is a red card. And then just 90% of the blame for the first goal is laid at Forshaw, but I'm going to put 10% on the keeper and the defense because they should be telling him just get fucking rid of it. Just
do you not think that's because of Bielsa's style? Why he hasn't done that though? Because if you think about it, he wasn't really under any danger. He was behind him, but so what? A normal pass and it's like a bread and butter pass these days, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at that, I just had a feeling that it would just be a wonky pass. You know, he's running sort of almost ever so slightly away from where the pass is going to be going. And he's got to get his foot around it. I thought at speed, those could be tricky passes sometimes. I just thought Rosed should have been the thing. Peacock Farrell came out. Now we're going to have a difference of opinion on this one because I think he was actually very, very clever. He came out, he did what he could, but when he realised that he wasn't going to be able to get the ball, he did kind of pull away with it because there's no point in just sticking your arm out, dragging the player down because he would have been off. He would have been straight off. And then we would have been, again, if everything else had played out as it did, we would have been down to 9 men eventually.
Well, I will disagree, but I'll get onto that shortly.
Yeah. And then, the sending off, don't think we can have any complaints really. It's a silly challenge. He's lunging for it. He's never going to get there. And his foot's ever so slightly off the ground. So, yeah. No real complaints for the Phillips sending off, but second half we came out. We caught him napping maybe a little bit. First goal was good goal from Clark again, absolutely
well
brilliant.
Worked.
The next goal, Hernandez, lovely throated ball. Janssen gets his head up and pretty much a easy tapping. Volleying, yeah.
He nearly put it over.
Alioski scored, and then. Yeah, well, we know what happened from there. They stormed back. We probably should have gone defensive. Bielsa said we should have gone a bit more defensive, but it was a difficult scenario. 11 versus 11, it wouldn't have been that difficult. I don't think he would have had to make the change. But 10 against 11, I think maybe he should have. He knows he probably should have, and he's explained why. But that he didn't take them off because it would mean having to sacrifice either the forward or a creative midfielder or one of the wingers and so on and so forth. But yeah, they stormed back. When the chances came, they took them, and we had a couple of half decent chances following that. But again, I think the sending off pretty much put the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Yeah, it definitely did. Right, I'm going to start off with my disagreement. Essentially, I just felt that he wasn't completely blamed. He wasn't completely to blame. Get me words out, G. It's hard enough with my voice. However, I still think it could have been braver. It could have gone in a bit harder. For me, there was a little bit of hesitancy. And he could have got, for me, at first glance, he looked like he could have got there first. It was probably 60-40 in his favour. And he pulled out of it. It's like he decided against it. I get what you're saying. Because there's always a chance he could have been sent off. But I think, from my point of view, looking at that, and I don't know whether people agree, it was 60-40 in his favour. I know he's not a defensive midfielder like Phillips was going to go flying in, as we saw. Which, obviously got sent off. But I just think the ball was there to be won. He could have got there and saved it, basically. I know he saved another one not long after from someone else. Can't remember who it was.
Which was another Forshaw bloody pass.
I think it was. But, on the Phillips one, sending off, I don't think you can disagree. I think he might have got lucky with another referee, not saying it's the referee's fault, but who knows, different refs have got different interpretations of what's more dangerous. I've just watched the Man United Newcastle game earlier, and I can't remember who it was. Lascelles absolutely destroyed under Herrera, and it looked just as bad, and he just got a yellow. So, if I'd argue it looked worse, to be fair. It did more damage, put it that way. And, it's different interpretations, as is that penalty decision, that red card decision. It didn't go our way, which resulted in Robertson getting a yellow card. And basically, the people, I mentioned something on the group, and I've got the replies here, that's why. It was I replying to someone else. When a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity offence is committed by a defender in the penalty area, the penalty kick effectively restores a goal-scoring opportunity. So the punishment for a player should be less strong, e.g. a yellow card. Time's going off. So the punishment for the player should be less strong, e.g. a yellow card, than the offence that is committed outside the penalty area that was based on 19th of May, apparently, 2018. And I thought that made sense. However, someone said, Mark, not true. If it's an attempt to play the ball, it's yellow. If it's a trip /push/other, it's red. And he's put some sort of link to go check. And the guy who said the initial statement basically agreed, because he said, I've just Googled it and you're right. So for me, it goes down to now whether he thinks that guy it was the other defender that was nearly alongside him, he thought that he was going to get back or not, because otherwise he has to go. Simple as. And we've been doing it over again, because for me, he was about to shoot. The one thing I will say is it was outside the area. Does that have any meaning in the chance? Is it a clear goal scoring opportunity when he's outside the area and his players closing in? Yeah, it's interpretation, as always. It's never straightforward. Never is, really, is it? Let's be honest. Unless it's a red card for Phillips.
These are referees now, yeah.
Red card for Phillips like last season, every time, it like pretty much straight away, no thought whatsoever. Just boom, straight up there with red card. But anyway, obviously we ended up going on to lose 4-2. Jack Clark was very bright again when he came on. But he looked like he'd run out of steam, which kind of proves the fact of can he start games? Based on that, I don't think you can. He just seems to does it blow like just run out of steam. When he scored his goal, we were already getting a drink. I mean, we're only 7 minutes in. You know what I mean? But anyway, I suppose that'll probably do for the old Forest. The last thing I will say on the Forest thing, well, two things actually, is Bazza Douglas has been getting a lot of flack. I don't know whether that's justified or not. I'll let you have a quick 30 seconds or something if you want afterwards. But the other thing is the stat of in the last 12 shots on target, we've conceded 10. So, what do you think the issue is there, mate?
I think it's a vicious circle we're kind of caught in when it comes to Bailey Peacock-Farrell. I'll address Barry Douglas in a minute. He gets a little bit of confidence, but then it's a little error, and everybody's straight on his back, just instantly on his back, and he sees what everybody's putting down. He's not blind. He's not immune to it. He's not living in a bubble somewhere. He sees what everybody's saying, and as confident as you can be, that will start to chip away at you, especially as it's been pretty much all season long. It's been going on. So he makes a little error. People get on his back. He loses confidence. He makes another little error, and it goes on. You see a pattern emerging here, and then he's got no confidence. So at the minute, not just for outright mistakes, I think just possibly just for his well-being, because you don't want his confidence completely destroyed. I think maybe a bit of time out of the team, even if it means playing Will Huffer. I would probably, even just for QPR, just to give him a little bit of respite.
Take him out of limelight, innit? Firing line.
Yeah, that would help. And as for Barry Douglas, he's not been brilliant. He's not been the worst player out there, though.
I think what they were doing is they was comparing his stats from last season, which it was a completely different system, wasn't it?
Different system
and
now.
The rules were ridiculous, weren't they? But I mean, I'll hold my hands up. I've been guilty of slating Bailey Peacock-Farrell a little bit, but you're right. He's going to see it. I mean, I saw earlier on that Grote, he's been called up to the Netherlands side, I believe, and he mentioned something about his basically getting his confidence destroyed by our fans. So, if that doesn't show that they do read what's said, I don't know what does. Because think about Twitter, right? I seem to remember who was it now? Was it Felix Wiedveld's birthday last year? And I remember looking at it, and I remember because Leeds had put it on, and I looked at all the comments, and they were all saying basically "fuck off, Felix," or "you're shite," and that was it. No, or "happy birthday, mate," or whatever. It was just all negative stuff. So they're gonna see it. they're going to see it. That's where I view that anyway. So I suppose we'll move on to transfer rumours. Have you got any?
Well, I spoke to my barber's wife's dog walker's dog named George Phillips. Don't know why he's named that. No, I'm messing around. Well, the one that's been floating around today is Steven Zuber. Apparently, he can play everywhere, like literally everywhere. Yeah, I hear that at one point as a youth he was actually just a one-man team because he could play everywhere. He was even the manager, apparently. But yeah, we don't know where he plays. We think he's an attacker, but we've also heard him called a defender. So who knows? Your guess is a good one. Plays in the Bundesliga at the minute.
Sorry, mate. Go on. I was just going to say the positions he actually plays. I wrote them all down.
You've written them all down?
Go, I'll just quickly read out where he plays. Right. Obviously, he's basically what's been said is everyone's been saying, oh, it's a defender. No, he's not. He's an attacker. No, he's not. He's a midfielder. No, he's not. He's a right winger. And it's all these things. He's basically versatile, which might suit us. If we get players that are versatile, he can play left back, left wing back, left wing, defensive midfielder, centre mid, and right wing, allegedly. So, and the other thing I know otherwise, I believe he's a Swiss international player.
Yes.
So, he, like
scored against Brazil in the World Cup.
Yeah, he plays, like you say, in Germany for Hoffenheim. Sorry, mate, I'll let you continue.
So not really heard much about fees or whatever. We don't really know much about him. Who knows, really, with this one?
Well, just quickly, it was apparently Phil here was asked about it, and he just said apparently there is interest, but there's been nothing like put forward yet in terms of bid. That's it, basically.
Yeah, so nothing concrete then.
No.
We'll see what happens with that one. Next one. I don't think I mentioned this to you, but apparently some people have been nothing confirmed, not even rumours that he says he's coming, but Jermaine Defoe apparently on the chopping block at Bournemouth.
He's on the chopping block. I don't think there's been anything said that we're after him though.
Whether he could, he's a bit on the age side, but I think
he'd do
the
a job.
last few games he'd do a job. He's a fox in the box. You can guarantee if the ball goes into that that area, sit from the goal line up to the penalty spot, that sort of area, he's going to be in the right place at the right time. He's not going to go beat three guys and bang it top corner. He's not going to score belting headers, but he's just going to be in the box. He's going to be a handful. So it might be worth a punt. You never know. Might take a bit of the pressure off Kemar Roof because at the minute we don't really have Bamford to call on. He's there or thereabouts and he's getting there, but it could be a good one. And the last one, of course, my personal favourite, and it should be something. I've heard there's something being confirmed on Wednesday. Marcus Maddison. Now, whether he's confirmed to come to Leeds, I don't know. I don't think he will, but it'd be nice.
He's confirmed there's some big news apparently about to happen.
Big news.
So
he's coming.
He could be doing something. Yeah.
We've been linked. Maybe we've got a bit something secret up our sleeve. Maybe I don't imagine it's going to be a massive fee for him. We don't have a lot of money. We're not going to go out and get Gerard Bowen. I've mentioned it last week. We've got more chance of getting Jim Bowen. So I like Marcus Maddison. I think he could do a job for us. Whether Bielsa feels the same, whether we've got the money to do it, I don't know. So that could be one. And the other one, I suppose we've got to sort of make mention of is apparently the Turkish scumbags, which are Galatasaray, in for Kemar Roof.
That's going to be someone like that, and they're fishing out, like, surely.
If he goes to fucking Galatasaray, then he's dead to me. Literally.
I think anyone who goes there would be dead to anyone.
They're not allowed to go. I don't think he'll go. I don't think we can't afford to sell him really because we don't want to wear
Newcastle in for him out there for about 10 million. So I've heard.
It's not enough. No, it's not enough. Because we don't know. We don't know who we're going to get in, and if we can get someone in for that. So I think we just need to hold station, no selling, just try and get one or two in. A goalkeeper primarily. We've heard like Heaton and Darlow and who was the other one? Westwood from Sheffield Wednesday. But I heard he's been playing some games recently. So
well, they're getting a new manager as well. The Steve Bruce is apparently taking over in February. So
that'll be fun. That's pretty much everything on the transfer front. I imagine we're going to get linked to everybody and their dog.
Everyone whoever played for Bielsa anywhere in the world, will get linked to him. Even like the guys who retired back in Newell's Old Boys probably get linked with them or something. You know, it's just that's the other reason my eye for these come up, or it's a case of that they used to play for us that will get linked with Johnny Howson again, I guess. And probably Becchio, he's available, isn't he? But,
you'll get people on the bloody news pages saying, "Get Alan Smith in." No, he's ancient.
He's retired anyway now. He's actually declared as retired.
I don't care even if he's not retired. He's too old. And he played. He wasn't setting the world alight in Notts County.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Alan Smith is not coming back to Leeds. Get it out of your head now. I'm tired of hearing it.
And I'd be very surprised if Milner does, if we go up as well, because just how he's been performing for Liverpool. You know, you don't let the top assist maker in the Champions League in their run up to the Champions League final leave a couple of years later to Leeds. You know, despite I know we're a big side, but the way they're doing and he's been performing, and it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. He's confirmed apparently the fittest player in their team. So it's not a case of his legs are going to be going as such. I mean, he might lose his pace, but he never had pace. So
yeah, he was never
exactly. So
no, that fit players. They fit into Bielsa's team. Maybe just preparing to come to Leeds. You know, get himself in shape, ready to come to Leeds.
Exactly. Well, yeah, true enough. I suppose
slobbing it and being lazy around those lazy Premier League sides comes to a proper crew. Who knows?
Well,
I think we have actually signed someone, or on the verge of signing someone, a 16-year-old from Motherwell. I think it is.
It's his first I've heard.
Something like that. Supposedly he's pretty good, but he won't be going into the first team. And Malik Wilkes. Malik Wilkes has signed a new contract for 2022 as well. Yeah, so that's another one. But yeah, barring that, Scottish lad. I'll try. Well, if you've got anything you want to go through,
I'll just quickly. Basically, I still think that we're not going to sign anyone who's ready for the first team this window, apart from a goalkeeper. That's just my honest opinion. I just think that the players have got to be a certain fitness level and a certain weight. Look at Izzy Brown. He's been playing games at under 23s. He's not even had a look in, not even got on bench yet. Bamford comes back, from his injury, makes one appearance and gets injured again, sort of thing. Well, he didn't get injured in the game, did he? But he got, if Izzy Brown was if he's fit and able to play in the under 23s, why is he not getting onto the subs bench ahead of academy products? Do you know what I mean? So if he's not ready, how long's he been at the club sorting his fitness out? You know what I mean? I'd be very surprised. They've got to be like the same sort of fitness levels as the rest of the team right now. That's the only sort of player I can see getting games. It's either that or they've got to basically be impact players like Jack Clark. So I can only see us signing maybe youngsters who are probably going to fall into that category, or for the future, with probably the idea of playing them a couple of times and selling them on. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I just can't see us getting anyone in who's going to fit the system. I can't see him bringing in defenders, even though it's clear we need them. He's not going to bring in defenders on the premise that someone's injured and they could be back and then you end up with an extra defender taking up wages that you don't need just because you're getting someone to cover an injury. I think we have been unlucky with injuries, but it has to be expected with the way we play. So it's a catch-22. And that's pretty much all I can say, unless you can't think about.
Nope, that was it. Oh, the guy I was talking about, Scott McKinstry.
How the hell do you spell that?
MC Kinstry.
McKinstry.
Yeah, supposedly 400,000.
What team's he at?
Motherwell.
Oh shit! No, he's not in my game. He's not in my game for some reason. So I can't even check his stats out or anything and give you a bit of a heads up on how good he'll be. But never mind. So yeah, I suppose that's it for the transfer rumours. It is going on a little bit longer than what we thought we were going to be. Matt, we've got QPR to talk about yet. So what team do you reckon we're going to put out? Do you think? I personally think we should rest people. I don't know what you think.
We should rest people, but then we don't really have a whole lot of options with the injuries and so on. And I mean, personally, I think for Bailey Peacock-Farrell's just general confidence, I think he needs to be rested. So I just Huffer in, Shack's at right back, Hallam and Pontus in the middle because we've not really got anyone else who can go in there.
I think maybe Ayling.
Yeah.
No, I'd say Ayling and Hallam.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So take Pontus out, but I think it might be Pontus. Leaf Davis, leave it out.
Yeah.
Or leave it out, sorry.
He's here with dad jokes. Not even a dad.
Yeah. Then I think it probably will be Forshaw, Click, and Hernandez because we don't really have anyone else unless Izzy Brown potentially gets a start.
No, I reckon Baker will get a game. And I could see, I could see Izzy Brown maybe getting his first game, but it's again we don't even know because we don't see out of him. And then furthermore to that, then you're looking at other options. Who we got? Who is there? You know, for centre at Park.
Is it Iguchi is still around, or is he gone
Iguchi?
somewhere?
No, I think he's. Did he not go out on loan again? I can't remember. Yeah, he went out on loan. He went out on loan at the beginning of the season. So
we don't even have the luxury of that. So
probably
could use a central midfielder in
you put Shaq's in middle, maybe. You can put Shackleton in middle.
Ailing at right back and Halman Pontus in the middle, but then you're not resting anybody. But
exactly, yeah.
Then wishful thinking, Clark probably be coming off at half time, and then Harrison and Roberts potentially. But...
I reckon Roberts will start. I definitely think he'll start. It's just a case of, like you say, I don't think Tom Pearce is fit, is he? So I can't. I'd like to say it probably more likely be Leif Davis. So yeah, I think Alioski will play personally because of his fitness levels. They're always going on about it. It's the only thing really that's got going for him. But if we can score from a yard out and nearly put it over. But yeah, it's
quality volley. Stop being nasty.
Yeah, might watch this. No, I doubt it. But anyway, but yeah, that's all I can see really. I mean, QPR have been doing all right again. They're like top 10 sort of team at the minute, aren't they? Seem to be anchoring just outside playoffs at the minute. I think they got a draw the other day 2-2. Forget against who, but I think they were losing as well.
Yeah.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, overall, I don't think we really care about this game. I know it's easy to say, but we don't care about the cup.
They say rather get us out at cup straight away. I mean, if we're going to play mainly like as reserve players, who knows? Maybe it might unearth a couple of other options, from the academy. That's the only thing I can think.
Maybe they get through, but I don't think we could. I think he needs to take this opportunity to rest some players.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that we can rest many because we haven't got money to bring in, but that'll be my team. That's it really. I hope we. It's weird as it sounds. I hope we don't win because I don't want us to carry on.
Yeah. I think I always want us to win. I just think if we do win, we've got to keep playing all youngsters and just treat it as like a rest game for the main team, with the exception of one or two of the fitter ones.
If we were in a lower position and then I'd say go for it. It could be helpful, but I can't see any look. If we had a bigger squad, I'd say go for it. But we don't, and we're ravaged by injuries. But I think considering the last 2 games, I think the next 10 days training wise and possibly the QPR game, it's going to be possibly the most important part of the season because we're going to have to.
Have you seen the next 6 league games?
I've seen the next 4.
I think it's Derby, Stoke, Rotherham, Norwich. I think there's Middlesbrough in there and Swansea.
Yeah,
so aside from you'd argue Rotherham, you'd say that's like probably the hardest run that we're possibly going to have. I would argue towards now and end of the season. But again, we've just played 2 teams we expected to win and win easily, and we didn't. So you can't write anything as easy. So it's going to be a big 6 games, and basically I do apologise because we temporarily lost Mattinho for some reason. Disco had a bit of a brain fart, and now we've had to go into a Facebook call. So it's a lot louder, so I do apologise in terms of Matt. I'll try and see if I can edit the volume at the end, but hopefully it doesn't deafen me in the meantime. But I suppose we're just going to move on to the part where we do his channel pimpage. So go ahead, mate. Do your worst.
Well, I'll try not to deafen you. I do sim racing mainly. I've had a little bit of a break because I've been a little bit under the weather and ill over Christmas and so on and so forth. But I should be getting back to it very, very soon. Possibly Monday because I'm going to take a few days to do recording. But if you're into sim racing or Football Manager, then come check out my channel.
That's one, and obviously myself, bit away from the YouTube at the minute, apart from this, and mainly Twitch channels in the description below, as is Mattinho's channel, and don't forget to check us out, and we'll see you hopefully after the QPR game, before the first of the tough 6 games, in my opinion. I starting with Derby County at home. So score predictions below. I'd be very interested to see what you all think and whether you agree with his assessments and what you think is going to happen in the transfer market. Let us know below. It'd be great to hear or see some comments below. Just see what you reckon. So until next time, we'll see you then. Bye bye.